So I passed through that hurdle, then I could continue on, and I'd like to talk about to elaborate about the trespassing issue that one of the subscribers and viewers was talking about, asking my opinion about their land has been fenced, and then the neighbor's carabao keep going through, breaking their fence, feeding his carabao in their land and whatever plants there is. Although they told the nephew that to tell him off, and they even wrote to the barangay. My opinion is that's a normal thing that's happening. A lot of people is trespassing the land, especially they got this notion that if the land is unused, they're free to use it for the meantime, and if it takes so long, they will be then building shanties around it, and then it takes another few years before you know it, they'll be building concrete house, and then you will be doing eviction process before you can kick them out. So like I said, put a stamp on it and right away you take them to the barangay to file an action against them. But if you don't want to have action done, or you don't want to sue them, I suggest that you build a stronger fence or wall, like my walls outside my castle, because walls makes good neighbors. And that's what I'm building right now with a road project. I was planning not to build the fence or do anything, let it settle down for a few months, but I've noticed that the old couple which I gave the bungalow has now throwing their rubbish on my side of the road. I don't know why they do that they know that every Friday is the collection of the rubbish. All you have to do is put it on the sack, put it on the front of the road, in the roadside, and they will all pick it up, like I did in my castle. But the old man yesterday, and I was there walking through in the property, and there's a lot of rubbish, all sorts. So I have no choice but to fence the road project as early as now, because otherwise he will be letting his friends use it as their own road, and then it will become their garage, if you know what I mean. They'll be parking it, and we can't even use our own road because we have to call them to take their vehicles off. So before anything like that will happen, I instructed Junelle, as you can see, to start building the fence or on the side of the old man, or where the budget bungalow is. So yes, we started it. I want beams and columns done properly, 2.9 meters distance, and the beam will be poured before we file any blocks up. But it's only, the maximum might be 5 blocks up. So I had the column dug at 60 by 60 centimeters and 60 centimeters deep, and for only 5 layers of, that's more than sufficient, the deepness that I've instructed them to do. Because if you have to think, the bungalow was 80, so 80 centimeters, then the deepness was 80. But this one is only a fence, but I want it strong with beams as well. So it's the fence, but 60 cm deep, with only 5 blocks of hollow blocks, and the rest is wires. And like Neat Giz was suggesting, plant some bougainvilleas. But the thing with bougainvilleas, they have strong roots. I know they got strong thorns, but they also have strong roots that will break your roads, that goes under the concrete and breaks the road. So I'll look out for another way to make a barrier there for the people to climb over the fence because they're lazy or whatever purpose that they're gonna have to climb the fence. But definitely where the houses is, I will be putting barbed wires as well on the top, because physical security is better than, I think, a man watching it as a security. Because I want, like my castle, it's all the physical security on it. You won't believe it how old be designed it. Because I got a few things still to work on the security of my place, but it will soon be done, because I'm doing this building work now regularly. If this continue, this quarantine, no, come on, then I'll just have to continue doing building works as for my content, which I was so surprised that a lot of people like seeing it. In fact, when I was doing the budget bungalow, I was shocked with all the response of people giving their opinion, which I welcome. And you know, the settling of the road project, it was suggested by an Australian builder. I just forget his name, I gotta look through, but his contribution on it is the one I approved, that dig it down and then put rocks or gravel on it, and before you start cementing, let it settle down naturally, in which what I'd like doing. But it's the fencing that I have to do is a must, because before any abuse will happen, and that will happen on the trespassing issue that I'm talking about. Before I get sidetracked, you have to put a stamp on it. That old man that keeps going to your land thinks that you are not using the land, so he's free to use it. And despite breaking your fence and all that, despite telling him that you cannot do that, he's still doing it. For me, you have to sue him in the barangay. Don't write a letter to the barangay, because the barangay got no power to enforce actions. That's a civil action. Actually, it's a criminal case for the trespassing, but you can also file damages against him for breaking your fence. So that will be a civil case. So if you go to the barangay, you want a certificate to file action against this trespasser, and usually the barangay would like to settle you down, let him sign an agreement that he will not do it again in the presence of the barangay. And if you're not here in the Philippines, you can authorize your relatives that's watching your land to do it for you. That take them to the barangay so you can file action. Anyway, it's the people of the Philippines versus the person that you are accusing of the crime. And once you got the certificate to file action, then all you have to do is to make the complaint and submit it to the fiscal's office. Then the fiscal will be the one fighting it for you. But I think if you do that, that trespasser will soon stop. He don't want to be going to jail and bail himself out, because once he's accepted in the fiscal's office, a warrant of arrest will be issued to him, then he has to bail himself out. Or the best way for me, if you don't want to be antagonizing the neighbors' relations, is to build a stronger walls, because like I said, walls make good neighbors. And it's not only their case. This case, like I said, trespassing is very, very common here. If you got a land, you don't fence it, no barriers, before you know it, squatters will be living there. And not, like I said in one of my videos, squatters, are they really homeless? Not all squatters are homeless. They're actually, that's their business. And if you watch my video, squatters, are they really homeless? I know personally those squatters that I interviewed there on that video, and I know that they have already been granted house and lot before they were kicked out, but they still want to come back. And they are not only squatting in one place, they have different squatting area, which they know will soon pay out, because they have to be kicked out because it's eyesore to the building that's there, eyesore to the subdivision that's there. So they cannot be kicked out without compensation, because they have long been built, that shanty that they build there on that land that they know they've been squatting is a must, that they get to be kicked out because it's a business premises. So that's what we call the professional squatters. It's only business. And in that video, I know those people personally, so that's why I could talk to them like they are, because I used to live in the area across, because like I said, I also come from the squatters when I was young. But poverty is never a crime, so you can work hard to get out of it. And now I do, and I'm like, that's why I like building houses. It seems to be I like looking at houses and know that you own it. You know what I mean? Like, and I saw the houses that I built, like my castle, my other few houses, and I look at it, and I'm not doing the build physically, but I'm organizing everything, supervising everything. It's still, and finance, of course, by Old B, but you can see that I've done it. Because me and Old B, what he got and what we all just, we have absolute community of all the properties. So, and I have no intention of changing that. It's gonna be just me and Old B till the end. So that's what we do. We like building houses, creating passive incomes. Then we still can enjoy, and I do enjoy the building, although you got frustrated, you got stressed. It's part of the package, but at the end of the day, you got the result. Nice house, nice property, increasing in value. Who's moaning than doing an 8 to 5 job that's boring? So I do like the challenges of the build, but sometimes really get you down. Like, I was in the budget bungalow. Oh, the borders are so strict now. I could see that because that's Mandawi area over there. So the borders are really strict now. So I've got to go stop in the bank here, do some banking, because I've used my money, cash that I have done last time to pay for the backhoe operation. So I need to get some more for materials. So what's the point? They have to go through again. I just go and stop on the other side. Which bank I have to go to? This I haven't parked. I get some groceries in Country Mall and pick up the takeout of my daughter. I don't think there's a BDO on this mall. I'll just have to check. What are you doing? So sometimes cars just stop, don't even know what they're doing, and stay in the middle. So I'm in Country Mall now. See if I could find any parking space, because this is free on this side. I think no, because someone's on my back, so I just have to park and pay the 20 pesos. Go. Thank you. So you can see there's only a few here. The mall's closed again. I'll just stop so I can get safe.